Alright guys, let's review The Shining since Doctor Sleep has already been out and I haven't had a chance to see it, but I'm going to try to see it today. And The Shining is just one of those movies that, what can you say about this movie that hasn't been said? So I'm going to say what I love even if people have said it before. Because this is just one of those movies that's just, to me, out of all the Kubrick movies I've seen, it's my favorite Kubrick movie. It's one of my favorite horror movies ever. Like, I think that this is truly a masterpiece. And I even bought the 4K Best Buy special edition with this awesome artwork, which is the hedge maze with all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy through all the words right here. That's incredible. I love the Steelbook, and I'm glad I finally got to see it on Blu-ray. I don't have a 4K player, but it's a 4K Blu-ray release. I'll eventually watch it on 4K when I get one, but for the Blu-ray transfer, it looks great. It looks very, very well done, and the movie itself, I've seen a lot of times throughout, I'd say like 10 years. Like the first time I probably watched it, I probably was like 14 or 15 whenever I watched it. And the thing that always stood out to me is just the sweeping sense of dread in this movie, and the way that dread is done in this movie is just some of the best in any horror film ever. Like, it truly blows me away how every time I can watch this movie, you look at the sense of the downfall of these characters. And this is coming from a person who hasn't read the book. I have not read the book. I have not seen the TV miniseries. I want to watch it, but I've really been like laying it off because that's like a 6-hour like TV miniseries, and I hear it's not that good. So I've been really hesitant to watch it, but I will eventually watch the miniseries and review it on here. But as of now, I'm just reviewing the first one because of Doctor Sleep. And I should have reviewed this one already because I love this movie anyways. But the sense of dread that these characters go through with Jack in this film version is already kind of off. And I love the fact that he's already kind of off. So whenever he goes to the hotel, it just further heightens his offness, if that makes sense. Because he already is just this person who is not very nice to his wife. He's abused Danny before, his kid, and he, in a way, just like this is like it's like his destiny to be set here. Like his destiny is to come to this place and become a part of it. Which I really love that idea of him descending into madness, and just how it's done is so incredible. Like, whenever it's from Wendy's point of view, Shelley Duvall's character, his wife, where she finds Jack, like, on his own in this hotel, he just starts becoming more and more horrible to her in a way where it's just, it works so great. Like, the scene where she says, like, "Hi, hon, have a good day," and, like, he says, like, "When I'm typing in here, no matter what the fuck I'm doing in here, you get out, don't come in here. When I'm in here, do not come into this room." And he says, like, "Can you comprehend that?" And the look on her face is just like she is so flabbergasted at what he is saying. Like, it's just insane. I love that moment, and she's just like, "Yes," and like just walks away, and like she just notices that he is going completely insane, and it is so well done. And there are shots in this movie where, while Danny is having these hallucinations or visions, he's having these visions of things happening in the hotel. While this is happening, you see Jack just like standing there staring at nothing, like he is off the deep end. And the scenes of Jack seeing all these ghosts, like seeing all these people that were once people alive here at this hotel, and them telling him like he's the caretaker, he's the one in charge. It's so incredibly well done. And again, you can't say anything else about this, but Jack Nicholson's performance is, for every movie I've seen Jack Nicholson in, which I haven't seen all of them, this is my favorite performance of his. Truly, it's one of my favorite performances of his. It is incredible. And Shelley Duvall in this, I think, is actually really, really awesome as well. Even though it came from a sort of Kubrick thing, where Kubrick literally, like, pushed her away from everybody, isolated her, in a way to make her role even more better, because I feel like Shelley Duvall at the beginning of this movie is playing herself, a very nice, happy-go-lucky person, and I feel like Kubrick probably pushed her away in a way where he's like, she's too nice. I need to make her realize how like these things he does, which I don't really condone, even though it gave a great performance from her. It's like he wanted to make her have this gritty performance of like this happy-go-lucky person to this person who is literally like going insane of like running away from her husband trying to kill her. It's so incredible with her performance, even though again it's hard to like say it's a good thing that like Kubrick pushed her this way and isolated her and acted like he didn't like her. So I'm not saying it's a good thing that he did this, but again, her performance in this movie is incredible. Just like Jack Nicholson's, I love her performance, and I think she's great in this movie. Again, I love that scene at the beginning of the movie where she's talking to like a psychiatrist about Danny, and she says like it's this very long-winded like description of like how Jack one day like he came home and Danny like had these papers and like he threw them all around and it's Jack's paperwork and he threw them all around everywhere, and she describes that Jack literally like abused Danny, like grabbed his arm and pulled it really hard and hurt him. But she says it in such a way where she's in denial, where she's like, and you know how it is, like they grab like he grabs his arm, but then he grabbed it a little too tight, and then it got him. And like the way that she describes that is like, yeah, he's being abusive, but like she's kind of denying it in that way. And as whenever she gets to the hotel, whenever he becomes a part of this and goes insane, like it's just like a bigger version of what he already was. Like he was a heavy drinker and kind of an abuser, at least for one instance with Danny. So, and Jack even describes it later in the movie that he does that because he was pissed off at Danny for like throwing his papers around. And he was a little kid, he was a little boy, but I just love moments like that. Character moments in this movie are so incredibly well done. And again, this movie, how it's shot, everything about this completely holds up with the creepiness, with the genuine creepiness. Like the opening titles where they're just driving and it's just the title font goes up the screen and up the screen, and it's just that slow building score that I'm glad that they're showing in Doctor Sleep in the trailer, so I hope they have it in the actual movie, but that score of like that dreadful music in a way where it's fantastic music, where like it's just the title cards and then like the bum 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 like noise, like that to me is so well done. And again, just how this movie's shot, the score, the performances are incredible. The whole movie, I just am so invested in this tragedy of like these characters losing it, and Danny, who I haven't really talked about much, who's fantastic. This guy who played him, Danny Lloyd. Danny Lloyd played Danny. Danny Lloyd is fantastic, and he gives one of the best like kid performances. Like he is truly scary. Whenever he's saying red rum and like he's saying it in that really high voice, like that is creepy as hell, and that really works so well. It is so disturbing and so just I love the fact that this kid like had such a great acting caliber at this age. It's incredible. And like him talking to Tony, his best friend, imaginary friend, like it's so creepy. And also the scenes between him and Halloran, which I really like a lot too. I think are great. I think they're great, just them together and the conversations they're having about how Halloran says it's called The Shining, and like it's something that other people don't see but we do. Like moments like that I think are great. And again, all the characters are great. All the acting's great. Cinematography is incredible. The scares are genuine and creepy. Like whenever Jack finds a naked lady in the shower and like or in the bathtub and like she comes out and is all normal looking, and then of course she becomes old and rotting, and like moments like which are kind of odd but work, like where Wendy starts seeing the ghost at the end and like she sees the guy getting a blowjob from another guy who's got like a bear's head on, like it's a bear outfit, and it's really odd but it works in the creepiness and with the score in that moment as well. But all these moments in this movie just make this incredible. There's never a dull moment for me. I love everything about this movie, and I think just rewatching it solidified my thoughts that this is just incredible, and I really, really love this movie. It's one of my favorite horror movies ever. with good reason. So many people put this up with their top horror movies ever, and I completely see why. I see why everybody loves this movie. Even if somebody doesn't like this movie, I could see why. I've got friends who don't really love this movie or like it, but I guess I could see why. I could see why with both sides for mostly anything. I try to look in both ways, but I did really love this movie on rewatch. Like for me personally, this is one of my favorites. Love The Shining. Can't wait to watch Doctor Sleep. Really excited for it. So overall, just fantastic rewatch. Love The Shining. Glad I finally got to talk about it on the channel. And that is my review on The Shining. Stay tuned for my Doctor Sleep review, which I will review soon and see soon. So thank you guys so much for watching.
Wendy, I'm home.